Hi everyone, my name is Ritika and welcome back to another episode of Color Defined. I am joined today by Priyal Kenny and I would like to start by handing over the mic to her so that she can introduce herself.
Okay, thank you so much, Ritika, for inviting me to your show. And hi, everyone. My name is Priyal, and I'm a chartered accountant by qualification, currently working in the consulting domain on projects at the intersection of finance and digital transformation. Outside of my professional commitments, I'm a sports buff. I've been a rifle shooter and have had a 7 year stint with the Indian rifle shooting team. I also run my own sports based nonprofit back in India, through which I'm working at the intersection of sport and sustainability. Outside of all these commitments that I have, I actively create content on LinkedIn. I am involved in a lot of research work and also into a little bit of pro bono consulting work. So that's pretty much about me.
Okay, amazing. Well, I'm sure like others might also be blown away by your introduction, just like me. And by all that you have mentioned, and from what your LinkedIn also speaks to, I'm just kind of curious to know how all of this kind of got started. Like, did you always envision this to happen for yourself, or how did all this begin?
So, not at all. I never envisioned myself to actually be who I am today. I think I just took one step at a time. And that is what I believe in even today, that focus on one thing at a time and take baby steps towards it. In fact, when people ask me, what are your goals going forward, or what do you want to do 3 or 6 months down the line? Even though I've had something written down in my journal or in my diary, my sole focus is just trying to be a better version of myself. So, I think even when I started off my journey as a shooter, I really took baby steps. It started with winning a medal for my school, then winning a medal for the state, and ultimately representing India. Likewise, even when I pursued chartered accountancy, I first started with my articleship at a small firm, moved to a mid-size, and now finally I'm into large organizations. So I have taken my time. I have given myself the time and the opportunity to grow as an individual in every facet, and I think this is something that I follow. So even when people tell me, "Oh my God, you're doing like so many great things," all I tell them in return is it's just years and years of cumulative achievements that show up in one LinkedIn profile. So, don't get bogged down by it. I've had my fair share of failures, I've had my fair share of disappointments, and it's all a part and parcel of the process.
No, definitely. So would you say this is kind of like your like taking baby steps is like your secret or like kind of your philosophy to like manage time and multitask at the same time?
Yeah, I think that always works. So I'm actually a sucker for micromanaging things. So I try to focus on one thing, make the most of it, and this particular attribute actually flew in through one book that I had read. I had read this book called Winning in Mind when I was still with the Indian team, and that book had this particular chapter which spoke about why it's so important to be wherever you are 100%. And this is something I used to struggle with because many a times I used to be in school and I'm worrying about things or my training at the shooting range, and then I'm at the shooting range and I used to be worrying about things I have to do back in school. But once I started following that, it really helped me. It really helped me compartmentalize everything I have to do. And it really helps you multitask in a great way.
Okay. I think I'll definitely be applying some of those tips because just managing school and job can be a lot for me at times, and you're doing so many things at once. So yeah, definitely going to apply that. Another thing I was wondering is like, since you are doing so many things, are you kind of like a believer in smart work or like hard work? And like, did it change anywhere along the time? Because I know like, even I'm originally from India, and I know when I was studying in ICSE board, I was kind of a strong believer in hard work, like putting in those 6 to 12 hours a day kind of a person. And then it changed, with experiences. So how is it for you?
I think I totally relate with you, Ritika. I myself have been an ardent follower of hard work, and I used to always feel hard work is the way to get everything you want, and it's the best way to achieve success. But I think that perception has really changed over the years. I have really understood that not everything requires your 100%. You really need to prioritize the more important things, and it's okay if you're given your 100% over there. But with respect to the less important things, you are allowed to take things a little more easy. You can find a more smarter way to get them done rather than actually putting in hours and hours of hard work. And in fact, now as a leader, when I lead teams at work or even through the nonprofit organization that I founded, I really believe in delegation, because it's just because a task needs to be done, it's not necessarily that I'm the one who has to always take the ownership or I'm the one who will be able to do it best. Sometimes it's equally more important to delegate and trust someone else with it. and just get things done. So I mean, even I honestly and loyally follow smart work right now, because with all these things I do, I think hard work is a very crazy idea.
No, definitely. So, like, if you were to kind of summarize, what would be three ways in which you kind of helped yourself make that transition from like hard work to like being more smart work focused?
So I think very honestly, there was no like structured transition. It was
Yeah,
just me throwing myself under the bus and one fine day waking up and understanding I have so much on my plate. And there was actually one or two situations where I had so much on my plate that I just ended up under delivering, or it was one of those
yeah,
disappointing moments. And I was like, this cannot continue this way. I need to prioritize. I need to divide and conquer. I need to trust other people who are doing my work. Sometimes you just have to let go of some things. Like for me, I want to make the most out of every opportunity. If I come across something, I want to do it. But sometimes you just have to prioritize. If you feel you already have too much on your plate, let go of a few things. Just trust the process that at some point of time you'll get a chance to pursue it again, be a part of any forum or pursue any kind of any particular course or any project at work. So I think that's really important. Like just focusing on what you have and trying to put the best version of yourself over there.
no, definitely. So, I think three things that you mentioned as like not really strategies, but like, ways in which people could work smarter is by prioritization, delegation. And I think the third one was kind of just believing in yourself and like trusting the process in a way, right? Okay,
Yeah,
I hope
correct.
I took it away right.
No,
Okay.
no, you captured that very well and accurately.